Welcome to the newest episode of Beyond the Fame with Jason Fraley. I'm your host, Jason Fraley, picking the brains of the top filmmakers, musicians, and artists of our time. Country music legend Ricky Skaggs plays the Birchmere for 2 shows this weekend in Alexandria, Virginia. We spoke in 2015 when he played the Birchmere with Ry Cooder and wife Sharon White, discussing his humble beginnings with Bill Monroe and Flatt and Scruggs to eventually winning CMA Entertainer of the Year in 1985. I'm here with the one and only Ricky Skaggs, who will be coming to the Birchmere in Virginia. I believe it's 2 dates, right?
That's right, 2 nights.
And what can we expect from you there? A little bit of your signature mandolin, a little bit of fiddle. What do you think?
Well, I'm coming this time. Normally we come there with Kentucky Thunder, my bluegrass band.
Mm-hmm.
But these 2 shows are really, really special. It's with my good friend Ry Cooder, who has done so many incredible things musically over the past, 40 years. He's an amazing slide guitar player, just guitar player in general. He's really amazing. And then my wife, Sharon, who we've been married 34 years and just released a CD last year called Hearts Like Ours. And then the Whites, Sharon's family, Mr. Buck White, he's 84 years old, plays the piano just incredibly, just rocks out on the piano, and then Sharon's sister Cheryl, and so it's called Cooder White Skaggs, and it's Ry's son Joaquin plays drums with us, and a good friend of ours, Mark Fain, plays bass. So it's going to be a real, that's a fairly small stage over there, so we're going to be packed on there, but it's going to be some incredible music. We've been touring all year long, off and on. I've also been playing a lot of dates with my band Kentucky Thunder, but this is old, I'd say old music. It's music from the 40s, late 40s, 50s through the mid-60s probably. The only thing newer than 1965 is Ry's son Joaquin, I guess. So anyway, it's great music. It's country, it's bluegrass, it's gospel. We rock out and play. Of course, Ry has always been known for much more blues and his slide guitar and that kind of thing, but we just kind of blend it all together. He's had a tremendous love for country music and gospel music all of his life, and never had a chance to really play it like this. Anyway, he's never had an environment to really play it in, and but it's great. It's great fun. We're having a ball.
Yeah, sounds like it's a bit of a family and friend affair. All you guys packed into an intimate setting. That sounds like it'll be awesome.
Yeah. Well, the Birchmere is just a great place to hear music. I mean, people are literally 4 feet away from the stage.
Yeah.
It's really amazing, and it sounds great in there. And so hopefully it'll be 2 packed nights. So we're excited about getting to come back.
Yeah, we just spoke to, you remember Hal Ketchum? He just played there, and he said the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
He loves how intimate it is there, and I agree. I've been there. You're basically eating dinner right up on the band. It's great.
Yeah, and if it's got a little extra garlic, it just really wafts up on the stage. So
that's awesome. Is garlic? Is that the key to the 14 Grammys? Isn't it?
Well,
I'm kidding.
I think so. It's got to be garlic.
It's got to be garlic. But man, seriously, to hear 14 Grammys, that's insane. I mean, we're basically talking to a legend of the genre here for country and bluegrass. I actually think you're playing on the 10th and 11th, but aren't the CMAs? I think that week before you won Entertainer of the Year, didn't you? Back in the day.
I did back in 1985.
Yeah.
Still very proud of that. That's probably the high water mark for country music is to win Entertainer of the Year, and it was a great honor, and my heart has always been to really honor the past, honor
the history,
the elders and the fathers of the music, and try to keep the old sound fresh and pass it on to the next generation, and I think that's all of our hearts. I know it certainly is the Whites, and certainly is, Ry. We love old music, but we like being able to have the freedom to kind of mix it up a little bit and add a little sauce on it, a little hot sauce, and to the music, and get young people excited about it. The thing about it is we're seeing all age groups is coming out to this show because, like I said, of people love me for bluegrass, and they love the Whites for the gospel stuff, and they love Ry Cooder for his, gosh, he's done so many soundtracks like Paris, Texas, and Crossroads.
Wim Wenders,
he's an amazing musician, and of course the whole Buena Vista Social Club thing.
The doc down in about Cuba, right? Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
So he's quite a showman, and he's just having a ball playing this old music. It's just really great. I've had him bring his banjo out. He he always loved playing banjo when he was a teenager, and played with Bill Monroe one time, and out in California, Bill needed a banjo player, but he hadn't played it that much in the last few years. But I said, right, bring your banjo out. It'll be perfect for some of this stuff, So he's getting a chance to play a little banjo, so it's fun.
Now, didn't you play at a really young age with Bill Monroe as well? I mean, this is the bluegrass legend, and didn't you play when you were like 6?
I was 6 years old, got to stand up there on stage and play his big mandolin. Gosh, well, it was big to my little 6-year-old bony frame, but yeah, it was quite a thing. I didn't see him again for about 10 years later when I was with Ralph Stanley. I was 16, but I went up to Mr. Monroe at a show and just kind of reminded him of that night, and he remembered.
He remembered it?
Yep, he sure did. He thought I was much older, though. He said, I think he was 12 or 13, wasn't you? And I said, no, sir, I was 6. I mean, I'm only 16 now. What do you mean? It was not 4 years ago.
You looked old for your age, I guess.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I carried it so well, yeah.
And then shortly after that, you also played with Flatt and Scruggs, right? I mean, and that's like age 7 or so. So, I mean, you're growing up playing with the legends.
YouTube is a wonderful thing, a wonderful way to discover music, and you can have it in the privacy of your own home, and you can just get right in there and just search through music till you fall asleep. It's amazing what all you can find there. But you can find, if you type in Ricky Skaggs and Flatt and Scruggs, you'll find me there at 7 years old playing the mandolin, singing Ruby, Are You Mad at Your Man? I didn't know what she was mad about, but I liked that song. And anyway, there's two songs on there, that one and then an instrumental that I did with them. But yeah, that was pretty amazing. That archival stuff has lasted because so many of those shows got taped over. I mean, it was on videotape, huge big reels, and they would syndicate it, send it out all over the country. It'd play in Nashville, then it would play in Cincinnati, then it would play in Chicago, then it would play, it just went around in the mail, and they would play it. And when it came back to Nashville, back to the home base there, they would re-record over those shows to save money. And so many of those great performances of different people, have been lost. Yeah. So what a bummer. But this thing survived, and thank God that it did. I got a chance to see it, and my kids and grandkids now have seen it.
That's so crazy it's still up there. Awesome. Well, I know we got to leave soon. We got about, a minute or two left. I seriously have so much I want to go through with you, but we'll end with maybe a little rapid fire of some of the great artists that you've worked with in your collaborations over the years. Maybe I'll throw out a name. You can just tell me maybe one word or something that comes to your mind. How about that?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, so Bill Monroe.
Father of bluegrass music, an inspiration that I still aspire to. His music was so fresh and so exciting that it touched me as a 6-year-old, and I'm still playing from it today.
Flatt and Scruggs.
Earl Scruggs I think he was the nucleus that he and Bill Monroe and Lester Flatt all was in the same band at one time, and so that's the music that I grew up with. It was Earl Scruggs' banjo style that really made bluegrass what we know of today.
They were Foggy Mountain Breakdown, right?
Yeah, they were. They played that song after they Earl wrote that, and
Gotcha.
That was in the Bonnie and Clyde film. Yeah,
great movie. All right, Keith Whitley.
A brother that died way too soon.
You guys met as teens, right?
Yeah. We met each other when we were 15, and I miss him a lot because there was so much music he had left to sing and play. And just a tragic ending to a great life.
Definitely. What an artist, man. Emmylou Harris.
Opened the door for me in country music. I got to play with her. I met her in Washington, D.C. when she lived there. She was playing the Child Herald, a little club downtown on M Street, I think, maybe so. Anyway, met her, and we became great friends. And she gave me a job in 1978 after Rodney Crowell left the band. She needed someone that could play a lot of instruments and sing a lot of high parts, and so that was me. But she opened the door for me to, into the country music world for sure.
She's so great. All right, Vince Gill.
Oh gosh, played in my band when he was just a teenager. He played with Boone Creek, a band me and Jerry Douglas had together, and I love Vince. He has done so many great things. He's just a great person and such a talent. He's a great songwriter, great musician, and just an old friend.
And leaving country a bit, Bruce Hornsby.
Oh, my knucklehead friend. I love Bruce. As a matter of fact, I got to call him today. So,
all right.
He's a brilliant piano player that can adapt to any kind of music. There's nothing I don't think that he can't play. I mean, he can play anything from classical music to to Cluck Old Hen on the piano. He's an amazing player. We've done 2 albums together, 2 CDs, and we always love getting to play with Bruce. He always shakes it up a little bit.
All right, and the last one, didn't you play with Jack White as well?
Yeah, I did one thing with him called Old Enough. They had the Raconteurs had a song on a record called Old Enough. I think it could have been even the title of the record. But he wanted to do a bluegrass version of that, kind of an acoustic type version. So they called me up and wanted to know if I'd be part of it, and I agreed to do it. So it was a fun thing.
All right. Well, thanks so much for taking the time. We really appreciate it. Any final things you want to say about the Birchmere show, or how it, if they're watching the CMAs and they're all getting jazzed up about country, why should they then come out and see you guys the next week?
Because what they'll see in us is real country. What they will see on the CMAs is not real country. It is something else.
It's a whole new genre now.
not to be disrespectful at all, and
sure.
I'm not trying to be, but
sure.
The music that they'll hear at the Birchmere is the roots. It is everything from Hank Williams to Hank Snow to Kitty Wells, the Lubin Brothers, Merle Travis. I mean, it's we're doing music, like I said, from the 40s, 50s, and 60s when country music was really defining itself, and so I think they're going to really enjoy it.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for taking the time. We really appreciate it. It's an absolute honor, and best of luck at the show.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Jason.
Thanks so much for joining us on Beyond the Fame with Jason Fraley. Remember to hit the subscribe button and give us a 5-star rating if you like what you hear. We'll see you next time. I wanted to take a second to tell you about an app I really enjoy. Living in the DC area is great, and Podcast DC gathers all of the local shows that I like all in one local app. Health, sports, local news, politics, and so much more. Podcast DC is the new local app with hundreds of DC area podcasts to choose from. I can earn exciting rewards just for listening and share the podcasts I love instantly. Available in the App Store or in Google Play, listen local with Podcast DC.